wanted to show you a little bit about one of my favorite little tricks, I guess you would call it, maybe secrets. When you're anybody that's ever planted that has the soils I've had in my life, a lot of clay, hard clay, starting small seeds like lettuce and carrots and radishes and things like that, sometimes it doesn't come up through that clay very well. So if you've had that kind of trouble, I have something I want you to try, and that's covering the seed with earthworm castings instead of with soil. So here I'll show you how I'm going to do that. Okay, so with small seeds you don't want to put them deep in the ground, normally 1/4 of an inch or less. So I always take the back side of my hoe and just make a little row like so. And then you sprinkle the seed in there. If you want to be careful, you can space them out a little bit, but I'd rather use the seed, sprinkle it out a little heavier than you might otherwise, because you can come back later and thin. But thinning is very important if you want to get nice big sized things. Most people don't like to thin, but you should thin. Give them space, whatever the crop is. Lettuce, put it 6 inches apart. You get nice big leaves instead of, you know, things that are squeezed together and kind of thin and wilty. They'll be bigger and crispier. Now here's the important part. Rather than raking that soil back over the seed, just take a little bit of earthworm castings and put 1/4 of an inch or so right over the top of the seed. And then you got to remember, this is the part that most people cringe when I do, but seed to soil contact is really important. So what you want to do after I get done putting that, I walk on it. That'll give you good seed to soil contact. And then, if it's not the springtime, when you get normal rains, if it's fall, you should water. In the fall, what I like to do is use drip irrigation or a soaker hose. This happens to be a soaker hose. So you can just lay the soaker hose down right on top of the row. And turn it on, when you turn it on, don't turn it on for just a little bit. Turn it on for an hour or so at least. And then if you don't get regular rains, turn it on again, and you'll get a great crop. And I guarantee you, I've used this for many years, earthworm castings. Not only do they make everything germinate better, but it provides a little bit of an early start, pre-start, whatever you're going to call it, fertilizer effect. So one of my favorite things, earthworm casting.